Hello everybody, I'm Paul and welcome to Simply Cooked by Maggie and Paul. Now today I'm going to show you how to make the Great British Crumpet. And if you're from the UK, that needs no introduction because you'll have grown up with them. If you're from another country, you might not know what they are, but stick with me, have a go at making these and you'll absolutely love them. Now I had some here to show you, but in the time it's took me to set up, people have pinched them and eaten them. It shows you how good they are. But basically, a crumpet it's sort of the best way to describe it if you don't know what one is. It's halfway between, I think, a pancake and an English muffin. So if you can imagine that, that's what we're going to make. So without further ado, let's get on and let's make the Great British Crumpet. Okay, now making a crumpet's quite easy, but you do have to follow a couple of guidelines that I'm going to show you. It's essentially, we're going to make a batter just as if we're making a pancake, but what we're going to do, we're going to put yeast into it. And today I'm going to be using this dried yeast. But that's the main difference. So basically the first thing we're going to do is get yourself a pan and put some nice whole milk if you've got it. This is actually semi-skimmed, but you can put whole milk in is better. And what you want to do now is you want to bring this up to temperature a little bit, but you don't want to get it hot because what we're actually doing in this stage is we're going to activate the yeast. And if it's too hot, it'll kill the yeast. If it's too cold, it'll kill it as well, by the way. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a little bit of heat onto this, just for a second. You know when you're bathing a baby and you stick your elbow in? Well, I'm not going to stick my elbow in. So I've washed my hands, everything's nice and clean. I'm starting from cold, by the way, so if you're doing it, don't stick your finger in hot milk. But I'm just going to stick my finger in, and at the moment it still feels a little bit cool. And if you want to get technical, I want to get it to about 40 degrees C. But basically that just feels nice when you put your hand in it, or your finger in it. So we're not too far off there. I don't want to go any hotter than that, so we'll switch that off. And we're going to put some castor sugar in first. And what this is going to do, this is actually going to activate the yeast. The yeast will work on this. And then the yeast itself, I'm going to put some yeast in like this. Put that up to there like that, and then I'm just going to get myself a spoon and just give that a stir. And basically all we're doing here, I'm just activating the yeast. And this is a very important step. And what you want to do with this now is put this to one side and cover it with a tea towel. And what we're waiting for now, we're going to keep an eye on that. It should take about 20 minutes, but we want to see it start frothing. And when it starts frothing, that's telling me that the yeast is active. So we'll come back in about 20 minutes or whatever. Okay, so our yeast had it's had more than 20 minutes. It's had about 40 minutes to be honest. And if you notice, when you look inside, can you see the froth on the top? That means that the yeast is active, that it's working. Now, if you don't get that, if it's just flat milk, then your yeast has died and you need to start again. So once you've got that, we'll just put that out of the way and let it continue fermenting. What we're going to do now, we're going to make the actual batter. So very easy to make the batter. You've got some flour, you've got some baking powder and some salt, and that's all it is basically. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to put half a teaspoon using my measurements. So we're going to put some baking powder in, and we're going to put some salt in, and we're just going to give that a stir. And then what we want to do with this now, we want to sieve this because it makes a much nicer, finer getting it everywhere. So basically we're going to sieve it, and I'm not going to bore you to tears doing this, but we're going to sieve it because it'll go nice and fine, it makes it fluffier. So we'll put this into here. We'll sieve the thing out. Okay, so that's nicely sieved. Now it's just a matter of putting our milky yeast mixture in there and mixing it to a dough. So again, get yourself a, excuse me, for coming out of camera, I've got myself a spoon and a mixer. What we're going to do, we're going to make a hole in the middle. I'm literally going to add this in. Okay, so that's had a good 5 minutes, that. In fact, my arm's aching with doing it. And if you get it right, you want it like that, like cream, so it's just drops off the end of the spoon. Now what we've got to do with this now, we have to leave this covered somewhere warm, and what we're looking to happen, we're looking for this to start rising with the yeast in it, and hopefully when we come back to it, now it could take anything from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. You just need to keep an eye on it, but when it's right, you'll see it's all frothy, and that's exactly how we want it. So we're going to put this somewhere warm, we're going to keep it covered and put this somewhere warm, and we've almost done. We only got to heat the pan up and put this into the pan, and we're nearly ready. So we'll get back in about 3/4 of an hour, something like that. Okay, our batter's had a good, just over an hour, and look, it's nice and bubbly, exactly how we want it. And it's not too thick, that's what I was trying to achieve before. I wanted it runny, because the runnier it is, the more it'll bubble up. Now, what I've done while I was waiting is I've greased this frying pan, or not greased it, I've put some butter or margarine in it, and I've got these 2 rings that I'm going to use to form the crumpets, and you need to get those really well coated with whatever you're coating them with. As I say, I'm using margarine, but make sure every bit of it's coated or they'll stick. I do have these other ones, by the way, which are sort of a silicone, but I find these metal ones are better. So I'm on number 8 of number 9 here, and I've just let it warm up. It's probably a little bit warm, so I'm going to turn it down to about 7, so it's on a medium to high, and we'll just give that a little bit longer, I think. Let's pour it in. Look, you see how sticky it is? I'm making it about 1.5 centimetres. Can you see all the bubbles? I can't hold it up because it's so runny at the moment, but there's loads of bubbles, and that's what we want, because that'll give it that nice appearance what a crumpet should have. We'll stick the lid on. Now the art of this is not to burn the bottom. It will look burned, by the way, but it's just seared rather than burned. And we're just going to keep an eye on that. So I'm going to come back just in a few minutes. Okay, so these have been going for about 5 minutes. What I've been watching for is you want all the top to be sort of not runny, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just flick them over. Can you see the bottoms? They look a bit burned, but they're not. They're actually just sealed. And we're just going to get that top bit and a bit of brown on there. So I'm at number 6 here. I might just whip it up to number 7. So again, I'm talking about a medium to high, but not too high. And I'll pop that on. We don't really need the lid on. So I think that's about it now. We don't want to burn the tops. Just have a quick look. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Off there. Now you've got to get those out of there, so if you just let it cool down for a second, how you get them out, if you put enough grease, they'll just drop out like that. easy. If not, just give them a tap. If one little bit's stuck, you can't get them. What you don't want to do, you don't want to squash them. And there we go. There we go. And these are lovely and fluffy. And what I'm going to do now is, while everything's still warm, I'm going to do the other two. I've got enough for 4 in here, and then we'll get back to you in a mo. So I've just repeated the exercise for the rest of the dough, and there's my 4. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, can't wait for tomorrow morning. And that's how you make Great British Crumpets. So I hope you'll have a go, because it's something I think people, they never think about making them, especially if you're not in the UK. You probably can't even get hold of them. And once you've tried these, you'll be making them all the time. So thanks for sticking with me, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.